Well, Bitcoin's price is getting absolutely wrecked today, leaving many investors wondering what in the world they should do now. Now, I see a lot of panicking on Twitter, people going out and saying that this is the end of the bull market of 2024, wham, 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 all this other stuff. And it's just crazy how fast people can just start panicking. So today, I'm going to make a video explaining to you why you shouldn't be panicking, especially why you shouldn't be panicking if you've been on this channel for a while, and exactly what we're going to do going forward. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So looking at Bitcoin here, what we can see is that its price has now come back down and at its lowest got to $56,500. Now, currently on the day, we're sitting down about 4%, but from the high up here, we are now down around 21% to 23%, depending on what chart you're looking at. Now, yes, most people are freaking out and nervous and didn't think that Bitcoin could or would break $60,000, but you guys know here on the channel that we kind of mentioned that this could very easily happen. I made a video about 48 hours ago that said, hey, Bitcoin warning, possible dump inbound. And we were looking at liquidation levels. I said, look, listen, the fact that market sentiment is turning a little bit bearish, the fact that we have FOMC, the fact that we have the Hong Kong ETF, which is probably going to flop, the fact that we had all of these things going on, and we started to see the liquidations heating up around $56 to $56.5 thousand. We started to see the liquidations picking up as people started going long. I said, listen, you might want to be careful. We might see this market dump. We might see 56,000. We might see 57,000 because the market is going to liquidate you if it can liquidate you. And look where we're at now. Exactly in that liquidation zone. Exactly where we were talking about, because again, people got too greedy. They were expecting the Hong Kong ETF to do well. It obviously went to shit like every big piece of news does. And here we are. So if you had been prepared, and of course those of you who've been on the channel, you're not panicking because we expected this to happen. So now, say for example, if you're new here, should you be panicking? No. Why? In my opinion, and if you align with my opinion, you shouldn't be panicking, is that crypto eventually is going to go higher one day than it is right now. It's just that simple. Like, people overcomplicate shit so much in crypto. With this, that, and this, crypto is likely going to go higher eventually than it is right now. That means Bitcoin is likely going to go up at some point. It's not that hard. We are in a macro bull market. People can say the bull market's over and all this other bullshit. I'll believe it when I see it, but I am far from believing that right now. I don't think that's the case because they say that every single year. I believe we're still in a bull market. I believe this is a bull market pullback. I believe this is a bull market cool down, which historically have served as some of the best buying opportunities that you could possibly take advantage of in the grand scheme of things to be able to capitalize on major growth. That's just what you need to do if you're a long-term bull and you believe the market's going to go up. You capitalize on days like this. You capitalize on weeks like this. It's just that simple, okay? How do you capitalize on days and weeks like this? You find breakdown targets. You find prices where you think support can hold, and you just buy at those support levels. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do. This is how I approach it, okay? Looking at this thing, what I do going forward is I say, okay, well, I'm under the belief that we have a key point of support sitting right here around currently. Let's go ahead and draw out the horizontal line. Let's call this $57,500. Okay, that's key support level number one. Key support level number two sits a little bit lower at $55,400. How did I get to these how did I get these support levels? Well, it's quite easy. What I did is I drew on my Fibonacci from the previous swing low to the previous swing high. So swing low to swing high. And what you can see here is it gives us these two Fibonacci extension zones. These are the levels in which the Fibonacci predicts you will find support at once you lose your low. So once you set a lower low and you go to bottom side price discovery, this is where the Fibonacci say that you should start to find some support. And that is what's happening, right? We cleared through this key support level number one. Once we lost it, we're now trying to recover back above it. So it does seem as if these extension levels are holding up well. And so because of that, obviously, I'm going to go and say that these are my current buy targets. Buy target number one, again, 57.6 to 57.5 thousand. I have already bought some crypto today, and I bought a good bit of Bitcoin, honestly, right here, because I'm fine with this. This doesn't scare me. It doesn't bother me. I'm expecting that at some point we're going to see Bitcoin's price try to return to the upside. It's going to try to make a break for the upside. It's going to maybe even try to come back to one of these key points of resistance, right? Maybe like a trend line or Fibonacci resistance or something. And because of that, obviously, as we buy off of support levels, me expecting one of these support levels at some given point is going to hold, I'm just going to keep buying at these ones. So the first one I'm buying at is 57.5 thousand, a little bit lower. A little bit lower than that right there. Okay. Now, the next one that I'm buying at is, again, the one down here, 55.3 thousand. Boom. If Bitcoin's price does be able to make it all the way down to this level, this is where I'm going to be doing some buying. And I would be doing more buying right here than I am doing right here. That's the way I like to structure it. The lower we get into this pullback, the higher the likelihood that we bounce to the upside if you believe that we are in a long-term bull market like I do. And so because of that, I might buy, say, $3 right here, then maybe $4 right here. Then the lower we get, $5 and $6. And I'm consistently buying more and more the lower the price goes, because the likelihood is that we're going to get a bounce sooner than later. And obviously my average cost is getting lower, then boom. Then we make the move. It's what I did all throughout the bear market. It's the reason why we're up so much. It's the reason why we're up so much here on the channel, okay? And so because of that, these are my current two price targets. 57.5 thousand, boom, purchase some here. If it holds, great, fantastic. We start making some moves to the upside, I'll update you on what to do. But if this thing does continue downwards, if we do see Bitcoin's price continue to the lower side, not only am I doing some buying around this 57.5K level, I'm doing some more buying around the 55.328 level. I do think that this pullback could possibly go as low as 50,000, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. Now, the reason I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, and I'm not betting on it, like I'm not shorting it or anything, is quite simply because we're seeing the liquidation slow down a lot, right? So what you can see here is there were a bunch of longs in the market. All of those longs just got their asses whipped. And so because of that now, considering the long liquidation levels have really dried up a bit, and there's not as much like excitement to the downside, I'm not quite sure that those lizard people controlling the markets are going to have any reason to push this thing even further to the downside. So because of that, obviously, I think that there is a decent sized chance that we do get some type of at least short-term recovery pretty soon here. And so I am just going to focus on these two buy targets. And then if we, of course, do lose 55K, then I'll open up a little bit lower and I'll start to kind of give my price predictions as to where I think we can go. But I'm not quite convinced that we're going to go much further than $55,000 to $53,000. And so because of that, obviously, I'll just have to update you if we do get there. But my whole personal goal, game plan, and agenda for the day is quite simply find the next 2 points on which I'm going to be buying at. And that's what I've done. 57.5, 55.3. And if I'm right and if they start to bounce, we'll talk about that in the next video, probably tomorrow. If I'm wrong and we continue to lose support and we go through these, quite simply, I'll just talk about it tomorrow. Just go step by step, game plan to game plan, strategy to strategy. And if you do that, you won't panic. You won't freak out. It's, again, the reason why we thought that this pullback was going to happen. We saw that those liquidations had opened up. And now that the liquidations are here, and now that we've seen the market hit those levels, now we're not panicked because we thought it was going to happen. And now we're just buying some crypto and we're going to enjoy the profits when this thing eventually goes up. It's just that simple, guys. Stop panicking, stop freaking out, and stop listening to crypto Twitter all day. Okay? Just go fucking breathe air outside or something. Just relax, okay? So I have more videos coming for you today. I got Solana videos, Render videos, Caspa videos, Shiba Inu videos, much more. Stay tuned. 4 to 5 videos every single day while I can keep this up in terms of my mental capacity, okay? I like to update you guys on all of the different cryptos that I'm buying and selling and things like that. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on notifications. Hit that CoinW link down below and get up to $30,000 when you deposit on their platform and much more. So go check all that stuff out down there, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.